It's been a while since we got a balance change for weapons. Dear Metas, we will continue optimizing and adjusting combat balance to keep battles fresh and strategic. Their data shows that the compound bow is relatively underused. Yeah, you guys are very late, by the way, to the party, but at least you guys are doing something. While Jaws has seen a significant drop in usage, well, probably because it's a PvP weapon, and it never really was good for PvE, so, you know, given the mechanics and attributes of these weapons, we are considering making these following adjustments. They are going to be changing the compound bow, which has a problem with single shot characteristic, makes it hard to land fatal shots. I agree. In practice, its damage is low compared to other bow weapons. Also agree. Its special mechanic relies on continuously landing shots to trigger a chance, which is difficult condition. Yep, that's correct. To address these issues, we plan to optimize the compound bow as follows, which we'll get into that soon. And then for Jaws, they are saying that hard to hit weak spawns in some situations. I disagree. You skill issue developers, do you play your own game? In practice, Unstable Bomber's trigger chance is low if certain stat conditions aren't met, causing damage to be low. To address these issues, we plan to optimize Jaws as follows. And so here's what they're actually changing for the compound bow. For now, for the buff activation duration, before it used to be on hit, you would get reload speed and then 10% crit rate, and it would stack, and then once you kill a target, you would get max stacks. Now what's gonna happen is on a hit, you get 40% crit rate for 10 seconds, and then you get a 25-second cooldown. And if you are not critting, it's going to reduce the cooldown by 2 seconds. So that's reworked. The auto reload mechanic now, before it used to be when you hit a weak spot hit, 40% chance to reload one arrow. Now it's going to be 100% chance to reload one arrow when you do crit damage. So yeah, that's more reliable now. Enhanced bomber trigger. Before it used to be when hitting a target at max stacks, you triggered the bomb explosion. Now it's going to trigger the explosion immediately as you crit. If you don't crit, it's not going to do anything. Before it used to give you unstable bomber damage 3% after a shot, stacking up to 6 times. And if you miss, you lose half stacks. Now that has been removed, so that's a huge buff. And now to trigger unstable bomber for the Jaws pistol, before it used to be 4, and now it's going to be every 3 hits. And of course, if you're still going to be critting, it's going to be 2 hits as well. So you're just going to have more frequent triggers, which is nice. The extra bomber chance is, however, removed. And now instead, when you do a crit hit, you have a 30% chance to trigger an additional unstable bomber, which is, I guess, a good compensation, but not that great, but good enough to do more triggers, I guess. The elemental damage 50% when you hit a weak spot is removed, which would last for 8 seconds. So every time you hit a head, you get 50% elemental damage. That has been removed, which is actually a huge nerf. Now this had to be removed, I guess, just because the gun is going to trigger way more bombs. So understandable. Unstable bomber stats. Before, it would give you 25 crit rate for the unstable bomber explosion, and now that has been changed to unstable bomber explosion area 50%. They swapped it for AoE range, which is actually huge. I used to say this a lot, that Jaws needs a AoE buff to make it better for PvE, and they're actually doing that. However, this is not just for PvE, guys. This is also including PvP. So this gun is going to be even more aids in PvP. If you are using Jaws in PvP, well, now this gun is an SSS tier instead of SS tier. So yeah, enjoy the new Jaws spam again, which has been ongoing since the beta. It's crazy that this gun is still that strong for PvP. I mean, the devs just don't want to shift metas at all. Not even give us an SMG meta. But yeah, that's it for the changes, and the buff values are for testing. There may be slight adjustments when implementing game. Of course, expect bugs to happen because we all know how they implement these new balance changes with 10 different bugs. But yeah, to ensure a smooth transition, they will also give you 3 blueprint conversion attempts after the November 26th update. That's when the balance change is going to drop. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about the new balance changes, and see you.